YouTube.com/MugenLord. Subscribe to the channel for gaming news, updates, discussion, and live streams. Signing off.
Hey guys, it's Mugalore here, and I'm back again with another segment of Let's Talk. And I must say that I appreciate the feedback that you guys left with the last Let's Talk episode where we talked about Pokemon and how Game Freak and the Pokemon Company decided to cut out the national Pokedex and how the community felt about it. So if you haven't checked out that video, I advise you go check it out. I think it's pretty interesting. I love the discussions that we have, and I believe with this segment, what I enjoy the most about it is it's much more freeform. There's no script in front of me, so I'm able to just give you guys my raw thoughts about how I feel about things and stuff. So it's more of me and my natural take on things instead of me trying to organize and try to put things together. So I'm trying my best not to go run off into tangents on a lot of these topics. So today we're gonna talk about Marvel versus Capcom and a potential Marvel versus Capcom 4. And as you see right here, I'm playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3's, to go along with this video while I play and just talk to you guys. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this video is because, in my opinion, I really believe that we're going to eventually get another Marvel versus Capcom game, Marvel versus Capcom 4. Now, if you just move away from the leaks and the rumors talking about potential Marvel versus Capcom 4, it just seemed like it's the obvious choice. Now, in my last video, I did talk to you guys about why I think that we could have a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4. It's for the simple fact is that Marvel is taking gaming a bit more serious, their gaming division a bit more serious, in trying to get their games on, I guess you could say, up on like that AAA type of level. If you think about it, with DC, what they had done with Batman and the Arkham series and everything, it seems like Marvel was trying to also capture that as well. And I gave you examples in that video, such as the fact is that they pretty much closed out their Disney gaming division and decided to go back out and to start licensing out their properties once again to companies. So it makes perfect sense. Square Enix got the Avengers, so Annie's will be doing a Guardians of the Galaxy game as well. And then also this game, for a perfect example, Nintendo and Tecmo and Marvel got together to do Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, so it would make perfect sense that Marvel go back to Capcom again and give Marvel vs. Capcom another try, because we know, in my opinion, despite all the other issues that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had, I believe, in my opinion, it was still a pretty fun game. It had the mechanics had potential to it. The mechanics is very, very addictive. I just think that the character roster selection was trash. Of course, the graphics was trash. There were really no other special gameplay modes or anything. The story wasn't really that great and stuff like that. Just overall, the decisions that they tried to go with that game was just horrible. So, now that being said, Marvel and Capcom really have to rethink things. And how would they approach a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4? How would they bring the fans back in to be able to trust them again after they messed up with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? So I'm just gonna give you my thoughts, in my opinions, what I think that they could possibly do, or what they should do, which I think would be pretty cool. So this is all my opinions. If you guys have opinions too, I'll definitely have to hear in the comment sections below. So let's get right into it. Now, for starters, when it comes to Marvel vs. Capcom, what brings the fans together is the franchise itself, the Capcom characters and the Marvel characters. People are fans of the characters. Now, we remember what Combo Fiend had said, that these characters are just functions and everything like that. And just because the character's not in it, we can still have another character that can pretty much function like a character that wasn't in the previous game. Which, no, people enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom because of the characters. So when it comes to when it comes to versus games, and when it comes to like these crossovers and stuff like that, yes, gameplay is essential. Yes, gameplay is important. But most of all about a crossover game, it's its characters. People buy crossover games because of the characters first. They want to know what characters are in the game. They want to know if their favorite characters are going to return in the game and everything. And then the second thing is how fun the game is going to be. What's the mechanics like? But people essentially care about the characters first if they want to be pulled into the game. And I think for fighting games in general, characters are important. How they look, how they design, how they interact, everything. If your characters aren't cool, or if your favorite character isn't there, then chances are people is not going to buy your game. So that's what Capcom have to get right. Marvel and Capcom have to get right when it comes to a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So, how would they go about this? Well, in my opinion, when it came to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they had a shitty selection of characters. Like, we all have to admit that. There was really no one on Capcom side that I really wanted to play. And that's the thing. When it comes to Marvel, Marvel's pretty much, you have your mainstream characters, and that most people are recognized and are familiar with. So, when it comes to Marvel characters, I never really had an issue with picking Marvel characters. But it was always the Capcom characters. It seemed like that Capcom has a whole list of potential characters that have yet to be in the Versus game or haven't returned in the Versus game in a long time, and it seems like Capcom just drops the ball on that every time. I don't know why they do that. So Capcom really have to step their game up when it comes to their character selection. So that's what they need to get off the ground first. Marvel and Capcom to decide on what characters to bring back. But in my personal opinion, if they want to go with a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, they should look at, and I'm going to say this, they should look at Nintendo, what they done with Sakurai and his team done with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think, in my opinion, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 should take the Smash Bros. Ultimate approach. Everyone is here. In my opinion, they should bring back every Marvel character and Capcom character from the previous Marvel vs. Capcom or the Versus series entries in general. Bring back characters like Sabretooth. Bring back characters like Rogue and also Gambit and Morrow and Spiral, Colossus. Bring all those characters back. Juggernaut. Bring them all back. And even on the Capcom side, bring all those guys and girls back. Especially Psylocke. Psylocke was my babe. You know what I'm saying? Like, she definitely needs to come back as well. But I think if you want to satisfy the fans and bring the fans back, bring them back. Now, the thing is, what makes this work to me, in my opinion, is a lot of these characters, like Captain Commando, Jin Saitome from the Capcom side and stuff like that, a lot of these characters have not ever been brought over into a 3D Marvel vs. Capcom game. So these characters had never ever had a, I guess you could say, 3D models ever done. So these characters would pretty much be, even though they're returning characters, they're pretty much like new characters because these characters have never been in a 3D Marvel vs. Capcom game at all. So bringing those characters in there will feel like a fresh new experience, and plus, you don't just have to just give them the same moveset, keep their same moveset, but also give them additional moves. They've done it before. So just giving returning characters some additional moves, tweak their models a bit and everything, I think that'll be pretty cool. I think that'll just be awesome if they go with that approach. Everyone is here. That should be the thing. Everyone is here. Now, as far as new characters, of course you want to sprinkle some new characters. I think in the base roster, everyone should return, and then of course you should sprinkle in some new characters. Because if you look at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, they didn't really have many new characters in the base roster if you think about it. I mean, you had Inkling, you had, let me see, Ridley, you had I'm not counting the Echoes. I guess I could count the Echoes. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. So you have Ridley, you have Inkling, yeah, you have the Belmonts. Let's see, who else? You had Crom. Oh, yeah, not gonna count those. I guess I ain't gonna count the Echoes of the existing fighters. But, yeah, you have the Belmonts, you have the Inklings, you have Ridley, you have, let's see, who else? Who else I'm missing? Incineroar, and who else? Was that only the four characters and the rest were Echoes? Can't remember because I'm trying to figure out everything while I'm sitting here trying to talk to you guys and play at the same time. But you get my point and everything. Most of the roster was the returning roster, some Echoes, and they sprinkle in some new fighters. So the game still felt like a fresh experience for everyone. And then you bring back all the stages. And I think they should do the same thing as far as stages is concerned. Redo a lot of the older stages, redo a lot of them, remodel them, everything, so you can get that classic nostalgic feel of the original Marvel vs. Capcom while having new generation of stages and characters added to it and everything. And I know when it comes to Marvel want to promote their MCU, and we all know that. That's no secret at this point right now that's what they want to do. So by giving everybody what they want as far as characters concerned, then they can sprinkle in their characters from the MCU if they want to, and I'll be perfectly fine with that. I would not even be upset with that. But as long as they bring in everything that everybody wants, and I think everybody be pretty much happy about that. Both campers will be satisfied. You get a new experience, and you get that nostalgic experience as well. Now, let's move on to, I guess you could say, graphics, and then the visual art style. Now, to me, when it comes to visual art style, to me, I think they really should. What they really should do is they should go with a different art style. Now, I'm tired of Capcom using the same. Like I said, if you look at Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and even to a point of Street Fighter 5, where they kids constantly using this oil paint, this saturation, this oil paint, the dark, heavy outlines and stuff like that, art style and everything. They really need to cut that out. They really need to cut that out. They need to go a whole new bold direction. Now, you look at Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate, they tried to go with a more realistic art style, I guess you could say, to fit the MCU. But from what I heard from rumors and what everybody was saying, that this game was more, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was done in-house. So they used the assets and the tools that they had and stuff like that, and they didn't really have a lot of talented workers in their fighting game department trying to do it from in-house, and that's where a lot of issues come from as far as the character models. And you look at Chun-Li's face, Morgan, Dante, you know how horrible the characters look. So they definitely need to pick up a new art style that's refreshing, that will revitalize the franchise and everything. Now, I know a lot of you guys want 2D sprites to come back, and Capcom said it time and time again, they will never do 2D sprites ever again. And if you ever see a Capcom fighter that utilizes 2D sprites, it's definitely going to be from another company that they contracted to do that for. But they themselves would never do it again. So, that being said, the only way we'll get something close to anything that resembles 2D sprites or 2D animation is what Arc System has done with their games, with the Guilty Gear XR, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and everything. I really think that Capcom should adopt a style similar to that. I just think it would just work, especially for Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom, like I said, back in the 90s, you know, it was a blend of 90s cartoons with, you know, Japanese anime, with, you know, with Street Fighter and everything. The sprites, the animations was just perfect for the original Versus game. And I think to be able to bring that back in a way is to use an art style similar to what Guilty Gear has done with their games. With Guilty Gear and, like I said, Dragon Ball FighterZ and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I think they really should adopt that style, because then you would have that 90s cartoon, or just that anime / you know, Western cartoon look to the Marvel characters and the Capcom characters and stuff like that. And it would be appealing to the eyes, and this would be appealing to even newcomers who aren't familiar with Capcom, or, you know, some of the Marvel characters, or people who are just casuals to the MCU would dive into something like that. I just think it would be awesome. They just take that approach with that. I just think it's a win-win situation. You can't lose with that. I think that would be perfect. That's what he should do. Now, you got art style out of the way. What would they do as far as gameplay is concerned? Now, I think it's more of this is more of a, I guess you could say, controversial thing, because a lot of people have their own suggestions of what they should do as far as gameplay is concerned. But to me, I thought Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite tag system, to me, was fun. I think it was genius to me. It was more of a freeform tag. And I think, to me, in my opinion, I wasn't really a big fan of 3v3, because to me, in my opinion, 3v3, I mean, it made the game even more chaotic than what it already was. And then 2, it also boiled your third characters down to only being viable to being an assist. So most people would only just have a third character. They're not really good with the character, but they will pick that character because the character had a good assist, spam assist and stuff like that. But what I liked about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, with going back to its roots with the 2v2, you know, you had to be good with, at least with both characters. And with the freeform, it allows you to create your own unique, you know, assist combos and everything like that. and your own unique setups and everything. I know when it was first announced and they revealed this type of gameplay that people was kind of like on the fence with this, is because like, yo, this can be potentially broken and stuff like that. And since I've been out of the loop with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite competitively, I'm not sure if anybody had broke the game because of it. But I think with that freeform 2v2 style for Marvel vs. Capcom 4, I think it would work. I would love for them to stick with that and enhance and improve on it. Because I think there's nothing wrong with having a similar gameplay style, but you taking what you learned from, you know, the last game and then you improve upon it and make it better. So I think a 2v2 with the freeform art style will be perfect. And I think there should be more things you could do with your meter, especially defensively. Because, like I said, one thing I don't like about Marvel vs. Capcom games, the main thing I don't like about it is how you have a lot of touch of death situations. That's one thing I hated about the game. Like, if you make, especially me, I'm not really good at Marvel vs. Capcom games, but I play them, I enjoy them, I like them a lot. But they can get frustrating when you play someone who knows like touch of death combos and stuff. So most of the game is you trying to avoid getting hit. And if you make one failed mistake, then you get in the touch of death. And then you pretty much have to sit there until your opponent drops their combo. You have to pretty much sit there until they drop the combo. If they don't drop the combo, then you sit there and you have to watch your character die. And there's nothing you can do about it. You sit the controller down and they just comboing your character, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I wish, as far as I'm concerned, that if they implement more defensive options that allow you to use your meter to break free for some of these combos, I think that'll definitely work. But I definitely like to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, some of you guys may like that, or some of you guys in the comment section may say, you know, Mugen Lord, just get good and everything. But I never liked that about the Versus game. And I even back then when I was using the arcade emulator, playing on Mame and a couple of arcade emulators that I use, and I used to play the old Versus games, and the combos that people used to do with Spider-Man and Akuma and stuff, where these touch of deaths was just ridiculous. I get caught with one hit confirm and then I'm just dead. So if they can do anything to alleviate that or reduce that down to just a tad bit, I think that'll be fun as well. Next thing they also need too is a comprehensive tutorial mode. They definitely need that, especially to get newcomers into the game, to teach them the different gameplay mechanics and everything. Put them in different scenarios where they can put all their knowledge that they learned from the tutorial and put it to the test and like simulated combat scenarios and situations and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, I think what fighting games definitely need the most is to teach people how to play these games and how, or to teach them the basics, the fundamentals, the groundwork, the foundation of these fighting games. And then if the person has interest in these type of games, then they can take it to the next step by formulating their own game plan, their own strategies and everything like that. And then as far as modes are concerned, every fighting game needs some single player modes or some offline modes, because like I said, the competitive community takes only but a small fraction of the fan base, and trying to just, I guess you could say, cater to just that demographics to be suicide. You need to bring everybody in. So for those who aren't competitive, there should be some type of modes. Of course, we do need another story mode again. I think another story mode would be awesome, but I think it really need to be mapped out right. Because like I said, NetherRealm Studios, to me, when it comes to fighting games, I love their story mode. You know, some people may not like it and stuff like that, but to me, I like their story mode. So I think Capcom and Marvel need to improve on that, especially Marvel. I mean, come on, Marvel created the MCU, they created Marvel, a lot of the comics and stuff like that. So they definitely need to figure out how they can make the gameplay for the story mode and the story itself interesting for people to want to go in and play, and also create some incentives. You know, what can you unlock that you can't unlock by playing online or other modes and stuff like that to get people to go in and play. So they definitely need some special modes. You need survival mode, you need your story modes. Like I said, you need I guess you could say comprehensive training mode. I guess you could say what's the other modes? Your trial modes for your characters and everything. So you definitely need things like that. As far as costumes are concerned, we definitely need to have some, you know, I wouldn't say need, but I think that's something that they can implement too. Now I know they would never do costumes without throwing in some transactions here and there. So at least if you're able to unlock different palette swaps for characters just by playing the game, then I think having some costumes that you can purchase, and even some costumes that you can unlock throughout playing the game, I think that will work as well. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that's what they need to do. Marvel and Capcom, if they want to bring people in, they definitely need to definitely bring every character back. Bring in some new characters, especially from the MCU, and then for Capcom, they definitely need to bring characters that represent different franchises, like Power Stone. I said it before. We need some Power Stone characters. We need some Breath of Fire characters. We also need characters from Asora's Wrath. They have so many franchises that they can use, and Capcom keeps reusing the same existing franchises over and over again to represent Capcom. Capcom has a whole library of characters and franchises that they can pull anytime they want. And the thing is, they don't have to get permission from Marvel to do it. This is their properties right here. Marvel, they have to work with and to see what characters they can bring in. But I think that if Capcom have more desirable characters on their side, whatever decisions that Marvel make, it won't be too much of a blow if certain characters don't make it in. Is because Capcom does have a nice balanced size of returning characters and new characters to the franchise as well. But that's pretty much my opinion, what I think Marvel and Capcom should do for Marvel vs. a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. How should they approach Marvel vs. Capcom 4 if they was to do a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4? What characters should return, and what new characters should be added from both Marvel and Capcom? What art style or direction they should go as far as the graphics and the visuals are concerned? And what do you want from its gameplay? Like, do you want it to be a 2v2, 3v3? How you want the tags and the systems to work? I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that, because it seems like that everybody would love to see Marvel vs. Capcom return. It seems like you guys from my channel really enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom as well, and what it used to be, and would like to see it return into some form in some way. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like this video, and also hit the bell to be notified if you want to hear more Let's Talk videos in the future. This is Mugen Lord signing off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.